Hey guys, this is take two. You know, I figured Mark Shaw did it. Why can't I do it? Why can't I do a Mark take two if Mark just did? So my screen was freezing up, so I just figured, I didn't know if you guys could hear or not. But Carmela, good to see you. Good to see everybody on here. So here's basically what I wanted to teach you guys here. The bottom right number. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Carmela. The bottom right number, you see a 4 where the hearts are coming out of right now. If I scroll up on here, okay, often I see less numbers, okay? There's the reason for that is going to be a lot of reasons, but Pauline, good to see you back. Yeah, good to see you back, Pauline. A lot of the reason for that is people are going to be on the web. They're going to be looking at it on the web, so they're not going to show up. They're not going to be connected with their name on the app. So that's why that number is going to be lower when you swipe up to see the live viewers. And then you have the number in the bottom right, which is the people on. The number on the right, for me, when it hits about 7 or 10, it usually is pretty good. It usually is a good indicator as well there. The nature of Periscope is for people to come in and come out right away. The little guy. I don't know what the little guy means, but the bottom right number, I think it's correct. I think your stats when you're all done, where it says the retention and who was live, I don't think that number means anything. I quit watching that after like the first 10, like 6 weeks ago. I like to go back and see the replays and how many people were actually on live. So let me, the bottom right number, I do think it is correct, but I think you have to have a lot of different perspectives on it, okay? So let me be very analytical here, like I am, and you're going to learn that about me. I can't tell at the time I'm scoping. Okay, so let me get a little bit more analytical and give you a little bit different perspective, okay? Somebody who's on here a lot, 5 Minute Leader. 5 Minute Leader is the one I was looking for. He does a great job. A lot of people, including me, do a lot of 5-minute ones. No, we do 6-minute ones. I don't want to take your brand away. Now, we do a lot of short ones. And 5 Minute Leader does a great job of doing like over hour ones because he has so much content and value to give that he does them for over an hour. And I was studying his numbers. I thought it was very interesting, actually. And one thing I've noticed is when I do really short ones that are like 3-4 minutes long, I go back and check a few minutes later, and my replays are actually very large because people didn't get a chance to get to it. So then I started studying. I study a lot of data. You'll get to know that about me. I studied the 5 Minute Leader. I'm like, he's doing them for over an hour. And yeah, and he does a great job, guys. He's got a lot of energy and he's fun to watch. So you guys should follow him right there. You see it right there at 5 Minute Leader. Very intelligent, been around the business world a long time, and we believe in a lot of the same stuff, from the direct response to, you know, headlines and all that kind of stuff. And so I tracked him. He was over an hour, and he had 1,400 live, which was incredibly impressive. Incredibly impressive that he had 1,400 live. And I thought that was awesome. And he did it for a little bit over an hour. And I just dropped a hint on one of the future shows that I'm going to do. I won't give it away yet or what the title is, but that part right there is actually going to be in a future show. And so the number on the bottom right there is 7. So I don't know if Dean wants to answer this, but of his 1,400 live viewers over the course of well over an hour, I would bet the number in the bottom right didn't show 1.4 or 1,400 very much of the time. It wouldn't surprise me if it showed 12 or 15 most of the time. So he probably had a number in the bottom right that showed 12 or 15 most of the time, and he could be like, oh, well, I have 12 or 15 viewers. But when he was done, an hour and 20 minutes later, he had 1,400 live viewers. So think about that for a second. So 14 in the bottom right, most of the time he's looking. He's like, oh, I got 14 for an audience. But then at the end, instead of 14, he had 1,400. When you swiped up, it showed 5 viewers. But keep in mind too, okay, 47 and a high, mostly 18. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you for those stats. So 47 and a high, mostly 18. So that means he was probably 25, 30 for an average. And he had 1,400 when it was all said and done. Well, 2 things that means to me, okay? 2 things. One is brilliant idea to do one for over an hour. Even more brilliant that you have a lot of great stuff and a lot of high energy to keep people interested for over an hour, okay? And then the second thing that it tells me is that in almost all cases, you wrote an incredibly intelligent headline. Because over the course of, let's say, 75 minutes, let's say every minute you have, I don't know, like thousands of people looking every minute on Periscope for a good headline to click on. Well, take that minute times 75 different minutes. And every minute you get a new opportunity, or every few seconds you get a new opportunity for 75 minutes for people to go into a Periscope and or leave a Periscope, right? It's the same thing on TV. People are watching a good show and then they see a commercial and they change channels. It just happens. So he had that many opportunities for people to come in, and it wasn't just a dead scope with 10 people. It had a lot of people because it was such a good headline. It was such a good headline for the whole time. So he had a good headline, and because it had such success, he was able to run that headline for an hour and 20 minutes, and that's how he got 1,400 people. That's not an accident. So the two things basically I want to say is that if you have the good headline, headlines are the key. There you go. You had a good headline. You have a good headline, and you do it for a very long time. What I've noticed is if I have a really good headline, you got to give people about 60 to 75 seconds to get on. They got to get it out of their pocket, the notification, all that stuff. About 75. Thank you very much. About 75 seconds, they get on, this number shoots up to 7 to 10. Okay, it shoots up to 7 to 10, you've got some traction. It shoots up to 7 to 10, you're like, oh, I actually picked a headline that people are interested in. So then you hit 7 or 10, well, don't be worried if it doesn't reach 30 or 40 or 100 or anything like that. That's when people start sharing and inviting and all that kind of stuff. Thanks, Alex. And that is what people like Mark and stuff who have worked very hard to get us all to invite and share and get those numbers to go really fast. But my point is 500 just gave you the stats right there. It's directly from him. It didn't come from me. I watched it, and I looked at the numbers afterwards, and he gave you the numbers. I don't remember the exact numbers again, no, but they were like 18 and 37 or something like that for the high and the low. And the point is, if you just look at the bottom right and you're like, oh yeah, there's 15, 16 people on here the whole time. And you say, well, other times I do 12 or 13, am I really growing? It's like, yeah, you had 14 live people, 1,400 live people. It's an amazing accomplishment. And then with that comes new followers. And then in the future, let's say you get 30 or 50 of those people to follow you. Well, in the future, now your bottom right number of 14 might start going up to 18 and 20 and 22. So doing a really long one makes a lot of sense. But then also making sure that you really want to have a really good headline. And then also do the duration as well. So Carmela, good to see you. Thanks you for that. And 5 Minute Leader, you guys follow him. He's obviously done something I haven't done yet. It's 1,400 people in one broadcast. I've been doing a lot of short ones. So yes, I did. Celsi, I did just hear him shout me out, and it was awesome. Actually, the replay right before this one that broke, the one right before that, I gave him a special thank you and shout out, a special Periscope just for Mark Shaw, at Mark Shaw. So I thanked him personally for it. Opportunity would not be the same in 90 days. Alex, elaborate a little bit on that, because I agree with you on that. And I'm curious what your take is on that. Maybe also hit me on Facebook about that. I live in Minnesota. I live in the Uptown area. It's about 3 miles from downtown Minneapolis. I got David Wang, who's on here a lot. He's actually coming down within the hour, I think, and we're going to do some high-level ideas on marketing. He's a big whiteboard guy, and we want to talk about some growth hacking and some of that kind of stuff too. And he's had a lot of successful growth hacking businesses in the past in other states and everything else. And David actually is his, let's see how to explain this right, his business partner. Giants showing up, celebrities, totally agree. David Wang's business partner is Brian Karoff, and Brian was CEO, co-founder of who I was working with before in the internet business. So I definitely have a lot of interest in working with David and Brian, and it's going to be some great ideas. He is part of my Facebook Periscope instant chat that I have, and we've been sharing 10, 12 different comments a day for just really fast talking for the past few weeks as we're watching this evolve very, very quickly. So guys, I'm excited about this. The early adopters, it's a really big thing. The celebrities are getting on here and everything. Monetization will be a big thing. Are you not leaving Tag Tribes, are you? I'm not leaving Tag Tribes. Chance now is to grow it. The Tag Tribes concept works really well. It's a good concept. If you guys want actually a short amount of background on it, here's basically what happened. I have been studying this tribes concept for about 6 years with Seth Godin, like off and on, and I've studied tens of thousands of things. I actually studied a lot of stuff by the time I was 23, tens of thousands of things on the internet, way before most people were even on the internet. 5 Minute Leader followed me, awesome. Yeah, he's been following me for a while. We've been talking back and forth. We've been having some really good conversations. So I test a lot of things, the tribe things. Truth is, I've actually been pretty busy on Facebook, having a lot of success gaining traction on there. And I just never got the Twitter thing. I never got it. I'm like, the hashtag thing kind of makes sense. And as I was working with another client, we were getting, I just looked at the stats today. We had one post that got 15,000, another post got 22,000. Yes, Catch is picking up on it. I think I had Catch retweet one of mine about a week ago, and I heard another one on the show here today. Yeah, Kevin Kelly 1002 fans, so that, thank you for bringing that up. I actually did some periscopes on that about 2 weeks ago, and I've been really big on the E-Myth, the 1000 True Fans, the tribes. I've been big on the what else have I been big on? I've been finding for this other client. Yep, build your own tribe. Yep, absolutely. So out of here, everybody's going to sell something a little bit different. So I will be building my own tribe. I'm kind of moving in the direction of the headline thing, and I can do more. And you're seeing me in a lot of my periscopes why that is. The thing is, I'm somebody that's always looking for the deepest truth. Has spent a lot of years on it, and so like if you study Instagram, you study Facebook, and you study Twitter, and you study Periscope, and you study SEO and blogging, and you spent 6-7 solid years on all of this, and even stuff even before that, you get to a point where you're like, there's just so much going on. Like, there's got to be something they all have in common. Your recent podcast interview. Okay, I think I started it the other day, and I didn't get through all of it. Deepest truth, absolutely. And so I've been thinking about the tribes thing. I'm like, that's pretty much right. I'm like, the hashtag thing seems like there's something there, now that Twitter is connected. The other client, we were getting a lot of luck with Facebook, but we weren't quite getting the live viewers. And then I saw that Twitter had just nothing but live viewers. So I'm like sitting here with tribes and hashtag and like all these things are coming together. And then I'm listening to Mark on, one of his shows, what was that, a week and a half ago, and he mentioned tag tribes, and I was just like, that's pretty much fusing together the two things that I'm like right on the cusp of, 2 weeks, exciting news, that's awesome. So I'm like, that's just like the hashtag where you connect the conversation and the tribe. I'm like, that's like pretty much exactly where my mind's been at. But here's what's even crazier is like the scopes he was doing right before that, he was like saying like headlines is like the #1 thing. Yeah, absolutely, community. And he was like, headlines is the most important thing, trust is the most important thing. And I'm just like, yeah, these are pretty much all the things I'm figuring out from like all these tens of thousands of trial and error. I'm like, we're just totally aligned on the same page. And he's obviously got the right vibe, and the vibe attracts the tribe, and I'm just like, it's an alignment. And his hashtag thing goes really well with the growth hacking concept that I've been studying a lot. We do have a lot in common. Yep, we absolutely have a lot in common. And I won't go deep into it right now, but like the other thing I noticed about him too is most people, when they want to like build this huge thing like this, they're in MLM, and I'm not going to say anything bad about MLM, but most people are like constantly pitching people, and like he wasn't pitching anybody. He's just like, we're just going to grow this really big, and I'm not selling anything. And it's like, wow, what a difference. Like, he totally thinks more like me. And it's just like, how many times have you seen YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and any of those guys ever try to pitch you anything? They don't try to pitch you. They just let the thing grow. They just let it grow huge to hundreds and millions and billions of people, and then they monetize it from there. And even the leader of Periscope, when people ask him about monetizing, he's just like, we're not even thinking about that. Like, why are you even, like, it's kind of like, why are you even asking that? We're not even thinking about it. You got it. I'm going to show the growth hacking visual funnel, the growth hacking funnel, the visual of how the referral and the revenue is actually reversed on that funnel. you just need to contact with people through broadcasts. Absolutely, you go to their broadcast, you go to your broadcast. I also think that Periscope builds relationships a lot more than the rest of the internet. I won't go into all the details, but I built up giving and sharing. Absolutely, it's good karma. I built up the Twitter, the YouTube, Facebook. I've reached tens of hundreds of thousands in reach and views and all that stuff. And the truth is, it's just like, okay, they're just metrics, you know. And it's like, what's actually building the relationships? And then I got on Periscope, and I was just like, yeah, this is huge. Periscope, totally. Hey, Opie, how's it going? Totally different. Totally different experience. So I'm gonna keep giving lots of good stuff in the Facebook tribe community, Tag Tribes, and I got a lot of other ones that I'm going to share with you guys. And thanks here for being with me and being part of the tribe. And I'm trying to think of where we originally started off. Oh, okay. So basically, to recap this, split screen info was not good. All these being held to ransom. I'm not sure exactly what that means, other than some people are split screen things. I shared one on Twitter today. Some other guys figured out the split screen. Alex Pettit figured it out as well. That's Fortes. Other than that, to recap what this was, basically the numbers on the right are not anywhere near the same as how many live viewers attended it the entire time. When you're done, the replay viewers are going to be a different number. I get most of my replay viewers within about an hour or so, and I think a lot of it has to do with the headline and Twitter. And just keep doing long broadcasts and make sure your headline is really good. Not too many hashtags, but make sure it's really good. Followers, heart numbers are irrelevant. I didn't catch that whole comment, but it said something about the heart and the followers aren't that relevant or something. I know the CEO is really big on watch time, the 40 years a day that we're at right now, and I totally agree with that. Audiences of big boys were not being given the info of how to do split screen. Audiences of big boys were not being given, I'm not 100% sure what that means. I know Blab has got the 4, you can do 4 now on that. Dave and I have done the Blab a little bit. I've been having a little bit of technical issues with it. Guys, actually you've been giving me so many hearts. Dean is going crazy with the hearts. Pauline's going crazy with the hearts. Therese is going crazy with the hearts. And I actually should have acknowledged that and said something a lot sooner. So use OBS for split screen, okay? I don't know how to do that. Maybe you can do a scope on that and teach us, because I actually don't know how to do that. But you guys, what's really hard is, oh yeah, Jason, yep, Jason Stoken, Blaster Cast. I've been on there a few times, and great guy. He's always out walking like me, and you guys should follow him if you want to Blaster Cast. And I try to do some of that too, where you guys can announce your company and what you do and all that kind of stuff. It's actually really hard. Oh, hey Jason, how's it going? Just saw your catch replay. Thanks a bunch. Oh, which one did you see exactly? Guys, Jason Stoken, can you give a shout out for yourself, please? I've been on yours a few times, and he has a trademarked Blaster Cast, and it's a great concept. I've been in a lot of years in networking, and it gives you guys all a chance to mention your broadcast, or mention your @ name and your company and your URL and all that stuff. And he's nice enough to, you know, let everybody do that. So I think that's really nice of him. So you guys, you just saw him on here. Feel free to, Jason Stoken, if I'm pronouncing it right, feel free to follow him and get on his Blaster Cast. And he does it, I think, a couple times a day at least. And he does a great job, and he gets a lot of people on there. So because he gets so many people on there, when you go on there and mention what you do, there, you will get a chance to be seen by a lot of people. It's free, best for Windows only. Okay, I'm using Android, so I don't know if that makes a difference. But again, guys, check out some of the people I mentioned. There you go, pronouncing it correctly, and thank you again. You're very welcome. You'll see me show up there again many times. I've been there a bunch of times. The fortunate thing for you is you have so many people on there and so many comments coming on there. I get buried in the comments and not always seen. So I think I saw that part where somebody said it looked like you were driving or running or something because you were going so fast. I was on there at that moment. So but I will definitely keep getting on there. It's a great concept. I'm glad you trademarked it, because it's a great concept and it rhymes and it's perfect. So I will be mentioning it more to people as I get a chance, and you guys have a good night.